Libertalia, let's get into the actual game here. This is actually a really fun game. It's not a very long game, and it's not super complex, but there's some good strategy to it. The first thing we're going to do is set up the game. Get these out. We're going to need some treasures. Wow, that is completely invisible. There's a black bag of treasure, by the way. Ooh, and now it's gone. Beth, do you want to be our banker again?
Sure.
Just because I have a feeling I'll knock these over. So these are value 10 doubloons. We won't use them often. Some card combos, if we get them, will build up to 10, but those are 5s and these are 1s. We all start with 10, so if you notice we all have some 5s and some 1s. And then we'll set up our characters and hand out the decks, and then I'll explain what the cards do and that sort of thing. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is, they always say youngest player, but it always ends up being the same every time. I always prefer randomizing, so we're going to roll a die to see who picks their faction first. 12. Roll a 12 because it'd be funny. Come on. We just talked about Ashley. 14. Ruined the roll. 14. 8.
Which if you add ours together and divide it by 2 would be 2.
That's a good point. Creepy. Alright, so Beth picks first. Just pick one of those face down flags. And then Ian, go ahead and grab one.
I want that one that's on the word. There
you go. Red. Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, I got Aaron's color.
Oh, okay.
Alright, and then we have one left. And let's kind of put that back sort of straight. And give it a little bit of space so that Ian doesn't have to quite reach so far. Aaron and I will have to, but that's okay because usually it's Ian. It'll be perfect when we do Whitechapel because you'll have your own map. You won't have to worry about that crap. Alright, so there's some good space, I think. Perfect. Alright, so that one's not being in play. So we've got red for you. Did you get up with black or blue?
Black one. I think you threw away blue.
Oh, okay. So there's black.
I
It looks
have
blue.
white.
White. Alright. That would be green. Yellow and white. Now, these, just like every game that's released now, they have like a description of the stuff, but I'll explain it too. And we want to try to get these a little bit on screen if we can, so people have stuff to look at, but, yep, yours is on screen. A little bit higher, Aaron. Perfect. That's perfect. Normally you put kind of your crew up here in the den, and then this is your cemetery, but I figure what we'll do is we'll put our crew on the side and the cemetery on the side, just so that people can see it. Get rid of that die. And then this you'll be using later for the to keep track of your deck. Get your decks. First, put our point tokens out. One. There we go. Oh, whoops. Let's actually put it in the starting spot. How about that? Okay, so this is black. Red, I think. Yep, red. White. Blue, of course, because we don't have that one, so I of course draw that one next. Yellow. Now you don't shuffle these. If you notice, there's numbers on the top left. These are in numerical order right now.
Mine wasn't.
It should be. They should go from 1 to 30 if you want to check that, because we're going to be picking out cards from here. But first, I'm going to bring out some cards to show you some different things that they do. All right, I think I've got all the symbols. So there's 2 numbers on each card that we want to keep track of. And I'm going to kind of be showing this to camera, you guys, but I'll explain so you'll know what to look at. On the card, and we'll have to talk about these because these are really small numbers and people watching won't be able to see them. But your card has a number of different symbols. On the top left is a number in your color. It's from 1 to 30. That's the rank of the character. Obviously, the parrot is rank 1. It's an animal. The Spanish captain, I believe, is the rank 30. I think it's
Spanish governor.
Governor, okay. That's the highest rank. So the bottom number in this little gray thing is influence. That is the rank between the same character. So if we all look at our parrots, mine's a rank 1. Mine's the lowest rank. Hers is rank 2. And so if we were to play both of these cards to know which one goes off first, depending on what time of day it is, you're going to look at that number. That's how you tell the tiebreaker. It's pretty much only used for that. You also have some symbols up here, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, and then you have what the card does when it comes into play. This is one of those games where we're going to be playing our cards in secret. We're going to play them face down. Not everybody knows what we're going to have. Then we're going to line them up on the ship to determine like what order everything happens in. Okay? So I'm going to talk about the symbols real quick. There's a sunlight symbol. I say sunlight, but it's basically the day symbol, as they call it. There's this kind of sun going to sleep in the sea. That's the dusk symbol. There is this anchor, and that means end of campaign. Not end of game. There are going to be 3 campaigns in this game. Basically, we're going to go 3 weeks at sea, essentially. And each campaign consists of a week. 6 days we'll be getting treasure, and then a 7th day of rest where we'll be calculating our points. And at the end of that, once we've calculated our points, if this person is in the right place, and I'll explain what that means, if they're not dead, basically, then this would go off, that end of campaign. And then this symbol is the night symbol. And what that means is that's an action that is resolved during the night phase. And so I'm going to explain what those phases are real quick. Let me just put my cards back in order super fast, just so that it's not taking me an hour and a half to find the right cards when that time comes. And there's, for you guys, there is a description on the left here of what these symbols mean, and also what the treasures do. And that's the other thing I'm going to pull out of the bag real quick. I'm going to grab our treasures. I'm going to set up our first day so I can talk about what those treasures do. And then I'll talk about the cards. So each day, there's 6 days on the ship, if you notice, and these days are represented down here. There's going to be 5 treasures. You have the exact same number of treasures as there are players. And we pull them at random.
Yay.
Yeah, some of them are,
Yay.
That's a terrible first day. Those are yucky.
I like
They
them.
don't, well, yeah, you do, but, well. But will you this time, though? You might not get the same cards.
Fine.
Depends on what we draw.
I will stay true with the luck that I usually have, and I'm going to say yay.
This is a terrible first week. There's not a lot of treasure. There's a lot of people.
Not bad.
A lot of bad things, not a lot of good.
A whole lot of bad.
No treasure at all.
There's some treasure.
That's not real treasure. Unless you've got a specific card that is not real treasure.
Alright, day 4 is looking better. There's actual treasure.
What are those mask type things?
Curses.
Oh.
Unfun things that take away your money. I'm going to just pass these 2 if you want to put those in day 5 and 6 for me.
You take away money if you don't have something to get rid of. Like
So the beginning of the week sucks, the end of the week isn't that
like
bad.
your crew. Yeah, there's a certain crew that get rid of them.
Then I say that and I curse the whole last day.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Curse on you, a curse on you.
Curse on you, curse on you, cow.
Love that.
So there's 2 sections in the game, in your kind of play area. I'm gonna bring that up a little bit more so people can see the play area. Your cemetery is going to be on the left. On the right is going to be your den. Characters will eventually be moved from the boat to the den, and that's where you get some of the other effects that they're able to do. So when you have a character with a sun symbol on it, that their special ability, which is what's listed on the card, happens during the day. It only happens once when the character is played. What that means, whenever I say something like that, it doesn't mean as soon as you flip it, that's when it happens. It means that it's not an effect that's going to happen in the cemetery or the den. It's going to happen up here while it's in play. During the day cycle, it's going to happen in the day cycle is resolved in increasing order from lowest rank to highest. If you notice, day is on the left, so from lowest to highest, the day effects are going to go off. The evening effects, the dusk effects, are going to go off from highest rank to lowest. They tend to be the more powerful effects, which is why you got to give something to the lowies. So they get to during the day, they do their work and they get rewarded, and then the other folks party at night. So during the dusk section, it's the same thing. We're going to go from right to left, and that is when they are played out, when they're out in play, not when they're in your den or possibly in your cemetery. There are some characters that will get a benefit for being in the cemetery or into the den. And then the night one. If you have somebody with a night symbol, for example, the barkeep, that special action is resolved during the night phase of each turn. And I'll explain what that means. But the character must be in the den. So if somebody kills them off and they go to the cemetery, you will not get that benefit. So there's a risk. You're kind of waiting, and hopefully they live long enough to be able to get that reward. Make sense? And then the anchor. That's a tougher one because that's the end of the campaign. So you have to have them in your den, and they have to have survived the entire week or whenever you played them. They have to make it to the end of the week. So after that 7th day of rest, and we're at the 7th day of rest, right before we calculate points, potentially those folks will get a reward for being alive still. So that's when that happens. Doesn't happen when they come out and play. It happens later. So beware, once you put them out, they probably will have a target painted on their back. So what we're going to do in each turn, I'm going to talk about how we get these cards. We're going to start out with 9 cards, but we're only going to play 6. So we're all going to start with the same exact cards with different influence levels. We're going to have the same exact cards at first, and then based on what we choose to play, we're going to have different cards going forward. We will always gain the same cards every turn, though. So each turn we're going to get, each campaign, when we reset the board and everything, we're going to draw 6 more cards, and we will all have the same cards again. So it will be slightly different, but we will have similarities. We will know what everybody has for the most part. Aaron will probably keep track of it better than anyone else. He always remembers who has what cards based on what they played. But we will not see it. For a while, we're going to see it. But when we reset for the next week, everything gets set aside. And so unless you're a really good card, it's not even that hard, but if you're a decent enough card counter, people are going to remember who played what for a while. But that gives you an idea of what folks will potentially play on future turns. So what's going to happen is at sunrise, I'm just going to pull a few cards from the beginning of my deck just to say this is my hand for now. Sunrise happens, and we're going to choose a character, and I'll pick one, and I'll lay it face down. We all lay them face down. We don't put them on the ship yet. Once we've done that, and everybody's chosen their characters, we're going to flip them over, and we're going to place them on the ship from left to right, starting with the lowest number to the highest, in order. If there's a tie, we're going to look at this, and the lower numbers of the gray will go to the left of the higher numbers. We're going to place them on the ship, and then they're going to resolve their actions. Then we're going to go to phase 2, which is the day phase, and from left to right, again, we're going to resolve each of the day special abilities. That's going to happen. Things might change hands, money might happen, money might get paid, that kind of thing. Again, if there's a tie, if I play the recruiter and Aaron also plays a recruiter, we're going to look at the gray. Well, we won't have to, they'll all be in order. And then they don't get removed. They stay on the board until after the whole day has passed. So they're going to sit there, so that's going to happen. And then we move into phase 3, which is dusk, and we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to start from the right. We're going to resolve each action that has a dusk action. Brain cramp. We do all those dusk special actions, and then you're going to, some of those will have you looting the ship. And if you, even though it's not quite the end, like if you draw a saber or a captain, I'll explain what these do, but if you draw one of those, it's resolved immediately before the next player's thing happens. So just be aware of that. Make sure you're resolving that before you put them to your board. Most loot will just go face down on your board, so people can see what you took, but they won't necessarily remember what you had. But captains and sabers happen immediately. Most of the time, the dusk actions involve looting or moving loot, sometimes stealing loot. It's a loot type action.
Taking no loot.
Exactly. So again, if you choose the Spanish officer or the saber towel, the player immediately resolves the effect. Otherwise, you place your chosen loot face down on your board in the den. Money technically should be in the den too, so people can see what you have. Probably we have 10, so yeah. And then any
10 monies.
if there's any booty tokens left, these are the loot, the booty tokens. Any of those are left at the end of the phase. They're left on the board until the end of the campaign, because there are some possibilities that somebody could get them later. So does that kind of make sense as far as just the beginning part of what we do? Mm-hmm. Then at night, any characters that have, and once you've actually finished the dusk phase, as you're doing dusk, you're going to pull your characters and put them in your den. So daytime they stay out. As you go to dusk, you pull them, and then you go in the den. at night, which is after the dusk phase is completely done, everybody's going to do this simultaneously. You're going to look in your den and see if you have anybody with the nighttime symbol on them, and those effects get resolved simultaneously. If there's any confusion, if people really do need an effect to resolve first, or if you might want to, we're going to go by influence. The influence number that's in gray, not the rank number. And then after that, we go to the scoring phase, which is the day of rest. And we also resolve this simultaneously, but I think we'll just go clockwise from Beth because she's the first player. We'll just kind of go around. Actually, let me put this near your...
I don't think any
Things
of
we
the
always
end of
remember that you're
campaign
first.
things affect
Yeah.
other players. So.
They really don't. And so what you're going to do, once we get to the day of rest, before we do our scoring, folks are going to look at for the green anchor symbol and resolve those simultaneously as well. Again, if you have a special action that is tied with somebody else and we need to know how it gets resolved, we'll go by the gray number. It's very rare. I don't think there's anything that matters that goes simultaneously, but we'll go around the table anyway, just so that it'll be easier for folks watching to keep track of what we're doing, because they won't be able to see our cards. We'll have to read them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to calculate our scores. The sabers and the Spanish officers are not worth any points, but this is what they do when you acquire them. So when you pull them off the board, before you put them face down, and you still want to put them face down because some people can steal your stuff, you want them to steal those. You don't want them to necessarily know what you have. So what you're going to do is when you draw the saber, I love the description. I'm going to actually read it. It's like, this is a good chance for you to split the booty and settle your accounts. So you choose a player or a character in a den from a player to your left or to your right. So in my case, it would be Aaron or Sue. If neither of them have characters, I just place the saber face down. It has no effect for the rest of the campaign. It's only immediate. But if they have characters, I pick one. That character gets moved to the cemetery. It just kills them. So if you have somebody that has a campaign ending, that's a good way to make them very angry with you, but it's also a good way to prevent them from getting that benefit. You use the saber. You pull the saber to kill them. There are some cards that give you bounty or booty for actually having those, so there is a reason to take them aside from being a total jerk. But we're pirates. Sorry. All's fair in piracy. And then with the Spanish officer, which is this one, if you take a Spanish officer, it says you take him prisoner, but he didn't surrender without a fight. Your character is discarded, so instead of being put in the den when you pull him from the dusk phase, he gets put in the cemetery. And the Spanish officer is then played face down in your den. Now that might seem really stupid. Why would you take that? There are some cards that force you to take it. There are other times where having a certain number of them in your den will give you a reward at the end if you make it to the end of the campaign with a specific card. So they might not seem like great right now, and they're not, but there are combos that help you get a benefit from them. Make sense?
Why I said the curses are good.
Yep, some curses can be good. Now here's how the points are. If you notice, we've got jewelry, we've got maps, we've got curses, and we have treasure chests, and then barrels of goods. Okay? The jewelry right here is worth 3 doubloons. Also, the doubloons you have left, because you're going to spend some of these during your round, but the doubloons you have left count. So if I had all 10 of these, I start with a score of 10, then I add up my treasure, subtract any curses, and that's going to be my points. So, be aware that these, if you don't spend them all, or if you gain more, these are points too. These are always points at the end of each round, not at the end of the game, because we'll be resetting these every turn. So these are worth 3. The treasure chests are worth 5. Those are worth the most. The barrels of goods are worth 1. And the maps are worth nothing unless you have 3. If you have 3 of them, they're worth 12. So they're either 0, worth nothing, or 12. The curses make you lose 3 doubloons. So every curse you have, these little Oni things, will subtract from your score. Move the score token, and that's the first campaign week. Does that kind of all make sense? And then what we're going to do is anybody in your den or your grave, you're just going to stack them up, put them aside. That's going to be out of the game for the rest of the game. Once you play the card, that's it. It can't be used again. All of these, all the tokens that we have, will come back. We'll put them in the bag and shake up the bag so we can reset the next day. And then you should have 3 character cards, and then we're going to draw 6 more, and they're going to be the same cards. I'll explain how we do that. We're going to use Beth for that. She's actually going to shuffle. And once we get the next cards, we'll be ready to set for we'll put more of these out. If you have more than 10 doubloons, you have to discard down to 10. If you have fewer than 10, we'll have Beth pass out. Everybody starts with 10 each round. And so if you've collected more, you got those points. Those go away. And then you're going to shuffle the card. We're going to do the 6, and we're going to do this again. We're going to keep doing this for 3 campaigns, and that's it. And then we see who has the most points. So whoever collected the most treasure is the winner of the game. So the first thing we need to have Beth do is shuffle her deck. Shuffla, shuffla. Is it sad that I like this more for the ice right now than the caffeine?
No.
Nothing wrong with ice.
I love me some
Hot
ice.
day. This is the perfect campaign for the cursed monkey.
Cursed monkey.
Granted, I expect if that comes up that everyone's saving it for the last week,
Yeah.
the last day of the campaign.
Transfer all cursed relics from your den to the den of the player to your left. He's a nasty little
I
bastard.
saw that monkey.
He's a mean. None of these cards are particularly not mean. There's a couple that are just
Pirates.
give you stuff, but most of them are pretty mean.
My favorite
Take
is I want them all dead.
Yeah.
Kill the monkey and the parrot too.
Yeah. The Spanish governor, yeah.
I like how Granny Wata is like an 18-year-old girl.
I know. I love that she's a Loa spirit and yet looks like she's like
Right?
came off like a boat from Japan. Like,
The art's actually pretty good though.
mm.
It's a fun game. I really enjoy it. And I was like, we haven't broadcast this yet, so that's an excuse for me to bring it back to the table. Okay, so now you're going to draw 9 cards. Just draw them one at a time and read the number in the upper left to us so we can pull the same cards.
20.
All right. Next.
7.
I'm slow.
20 and 7. Okay. 29.
Jeez. All the high ones are coming out early.
25.
This happened before. Remember the timer of the last week we had like nothing. We were fighting with Paris and monkeys.
I wasn't.
I know.
26.
Oh my.
boy.
How many do I take? 9?
9.
8. There we go.
Oh, waitress.
28.
Wow.
Oh man.
4.
I think. What is that?
That's 8.
Okay, so the last one.
27.
Bingo!
Yahtzee! So what you do is you just kind of put your deck aside and stick your flag on it. Because eventually you're going to have it like a discard deck. I'm just going to put mine up here. Get out of my way.
So now we pick 6 of these cards that we're going to use?
Nope, we pick one. Because
Oh,
this is
one.
day 1.
Okay.
Be aware, once you played it, it's done. So we're going to look at our cards and decide which one we want to play into the game first. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's a lot of those in this. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna try that.
This is a pain.
Take your time. There's some tough choices in this one.
I don't like this.
When the cards go on there from left to right, it's highest to lowest. Or
Lowest.
Highest,
lowest to
yeah.
highest. Okay.
And so when we play our daylight effects, the daytime effects happen from the lowest rank to the highest rank, but the dusk effects happen from the highest to the lowest. I don't see any of these showing that we can gain booty tiles. Oh, we
No,
just
they
do.
all gave booty tiles
Yeah,
unless
unless
it's
there's nothing left,
Unless
yeah.
it's the deck me.
Yeah, it starts from dusk. That's right. You do your action, you take your tile. That's what I forgot to mention. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
You do your action. Sometimes you get more tiles, so there could be, like, if you're the lowest, there might be nothing left. That's what I forgot to explain. I apologize. All right, so we flip our cards. see who is the lowest, and so yeah.
Me and Beth are the lowest.
Yep. So
But
who
mine
has
is the
the?
highest rank.
Okay, so Beth's go here, and then yours goes next to it, and then Ian and I are tied too because we both did a granny wire.
And mine's a 4.
Okay, mine's a 5.
So,
I want to put them face up so people watching can see them. All right. Okay, so we start day effects. There aren't any. Well, there's one.
this one.
Captain. So.
Captain gains 3 doubloons.
All right. So give that person 3 doubloons.
Give that person some doubloons.
Come on down.
Have
you
some
have
doubloons.
3 doubloons.
You got some doubloons.
I feel like we're the poorest pirates ever.
Take your doubloons. Well, we just started. We haven't hit a ship yet. We literally just got on the boat. Of course we're poor. You walked on, punched somebody, took their money, and now we're gonna take their treasure. We're all like, so we're on the ship, and you're like, I'm the captain, and you just
Give me your doubloons.
And the other captain was like, who's mysteriously missing because he's hiding. I was
On
like,
a ship with a
"Give him
bunch of
money."
women. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're basically not superstitious at all.
All right.
Okay, so
It's the French boat.
so now we do from dusk. So you get to go first. You get to pick the treasure first.
Oh, starting
So-
with that one.
Yep, we start with day
We're
one.
on day 1.
Day 1.
Pick one of those treasures.
Day one.
So either the map or the treasure.
Yeah, do those things stay in your...
Until the end
They
of the
stay in your den
campaign.
unless somebody steals one. 'Cause
Yeah,
there
yeah.
I think there's one card that lets you steal
Well,
one.
none of us have that one.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, that's right. This week we're not going to be doing any stealing because there's a lot of maps later. And then you take your captain and put him in your den because this is the
Face down.
dusk. Yep, that goes face down because you want people to see it. I guess it doesn't matter because we don't have it, but you do. You play it face down so people can take it. And then he goes in your den, and I'm gonna take the jewelry. And my little granny watch is gonna be useless because me and Ian had the same thought.
Yep.
It happens.
I was like, if nobody plays her, then I get money. If someone does, then they don't get any. So either way it works.
So are you going to
Like
kill
you-
off your granny, or are you taking a curse?
So if you kill off your granny, then she gets the benefit.
It's true.
So I can choose to kill someone instead.
Well, if you take
If you
the
take
Spanish
that,
governor,
she goes
you
instead of
take
going to the den,
Spanish-
she goes to the
Spaniard.
cemetery.
If you take the
Oh,
Spaniard, you
right,
have to
right,
discard your character.
Yeah.
And
So
that
you
means
take
she
the
would
curse
be the
or-
only one who would get her night effect,
Or you can take the curse.
which you could potentially get rid of later. Potentially.
Nah, I'll kill Granny Water. I don't care. You can have 2 doubloons.
And then just put her face down in your cemetery. If you don't mind putting like left for your cemetery and then right for your.
I was going to kill off my
Just so people can
my
see.
person, so I didn't have to pay any doubloons.
And that's why I was hoping he would take the curse.
Yeah, I wanted to kill off mine,
Not that it really
so
matters.
that I
but-
didn't have to pay any doubloons.
All right, and then the night phase happens, so I will get 2 doubloons. Well, we should go this way actually, because
You're the only one with the
oh,
knife
I'm the only
thing.
one with the night phase. Everyone else is ending campaign stuff. All right.
You get 2 doubloons.
Yes, please.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, day 2. We do this again. I should have had like some swashbuckling music or something. No, then the last time we played music, though, you couldn't hear anything else. Because I played it through the computer, and that was a mistake. Because XSplit will be like, everything must sound exactly the same, equal. So it doesn't matter how quiet your music is, it must be exactly as loud as you are. So like all you heard was like murmuring and then tomb music. Oh, he's still waiting. Oh. She's like, maybe, and then we decide. Next time.
Yeah, that's a bad. mean, I like it, but I think I'm gonna wait a little bit longer.
Are we ready to everybody pick?
So,
Captain. Captain.
Mine's 6.
Okay, so then
You're a
you're
6,
gonna
so
go
you're gonna go.
higher than me. But hers is...
She's a 6. So.
She's a 27, so she's gonna go before us anyway.
Yes. But mine's a 3. So
Oh,
hers
I
is a
see.
6.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you both played your
Mhm.
grannies.
and yours goes.
And then he's a little bit tougher. We need to stop playing the same cards every turn. That's creepy.
I know, it's creepy.
Alright, so we start with the day phase.
Day phase.
I will gain 3 doubloons,
Mhm.
and then Ian will gain 3 doubloons.
Running out of ribbons.
Hang on, I can give you. I'll just give you 5 and take. Okay, Matt, 1, 2,
Give him
3. I'll just give
2.
you 2 and take a 5. I'll give you 5 and take a 5.
Yeah, do that. Alright, and you get 3 as well. Alright, no, I'll give you 3. You didn't get any. And then we dusk and nothing happens at dusk?
So people try.
Well, no, we do. Well, you do have dusk
Yeah.
because Ian will pull first. He gets his treasure first. Which one do you want?
Oh, I'm gonna take the saber.
Ooh, what are you gonna kill?
So you can kill either her governor's daughter or the captain.
I'll be nice to you. I'll kill your governor's daughter.
Thank you. Unless someone else plays one, I don't have to do what I was going to do later now.
Well, there.
And my
And then he goes back to your den.
I was going to play the one that takes it back out of the den to get rid of, so I didn't have to pay any money. But I don't have to do that now. Tell someone else plays it. I'm assuming you were taking the treasure map again.
It would be smart
Yeah, it makes it.
because she gets the. Oh. All right. Move on to day 3.
Oh, nighttime.
Oh, that's right. Night. Sorry.
So all the waters are going away.
Yep. Yeah, because it does. You don't have to pay anything though, right? It just.
No, just they get discarded.
As
They
the
just
low
all
of the
get discarded.
seas, I bring your security and protection.
And I get 1 doubloon because I have the barkeep. Well, that's the reason I didn't play water. I looked at them like, oh, they get discarded if there's more in the den.
Right.
Not playing
That's
mine.
also why I killed mine, because I figured someone else was going to wipe them off the board, so I didn't worry about it.
Means I'm the only one left with one, so I could get some money.
Oh, right. I have to pick something.
It's time to pick something. If we go 3 for 3, Ian, I'll be creeped out for real.
I think we probably are
Oh,
going
don't
to go
forget
through
put your
the
dude in the den so that people can see, because nobody can see that. Your captain.
Hmm?
Can you put him in the
He's
den?
in my den.
It's- the den's on the right.
Oh.
So I can.
Mine's just glare.
Yeah, hers is just a supernova. She's got
Oh,
a
I
mirror.
feel that.
I'm
That's
going
not
to be
what I
genuinely
wanna do.
surprised if we don't go
That
through
would
the 3,
kill
actually.
it.
Oh my god. If
You
I
get it
think
right now.
that's creepy because usually I don't have much of a tactical mind. So either you're really tired or I'm actually thinking.
Might be a combination of both.
Oh,
That's why I'm terrified
this is
about
a
what
crappy
delivered from my
day.
chapel tonight.
Oh,
Yes,
Yes.
it's a very crappy day. So either you have something that you're willing to sacrifice immediately, or you get a curse. That's why I was like, oh wait, water's not good for today. Let's not use that.
You need something with a day effect.
Plenty of those.
Or actually, even a dusk effect would be fine. But a night effect, no, you don't want that. Unless you want a curse. Does everybody play?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Flippy flippy.
Oh, we didn't. Good.
Woohoo! I don't have to feel... You guys
Oh,
are
3
the same,
did.
though. Yep. Wow. Okay
So
then.
3, 2, 1. So mine will be.
So mine goes here.
Oh, thank God. That means all of us do not get the curse.
Yeah, it's true. That's really funny.
I was like, crap, I'm gonna
wow.
be cursed. Oh, never mind, I'm not. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I will take captain into my hand.
Same.
I get 2 doubloons because I have 2 tiles.
So do I. And so do you.
Yeah.
And then they
Wait.
mysteriously die. It's for each doubloon, or each treasure
Do
tile.
one doubloon for each
Yep.
of
One,
those?
one,
Okay.
one doubloon for each one of those.
Dead. Well, it doesn't. We're
Yeah,
all
they're-
taking.
I'm pretty sure we're all taking it.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I'm assuming none of us are taking the curse.
No.
Yeah, so.
Not unless we feel like losing 8 doubloons. Why?
Oh yeah, losing 3 more. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you mean yeah.
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 Oh, because if you have the quartermaster, you
Then
lose
the-
more?
if he survives to the end of the campaign, you lose 8.
Oh.
That's why we used him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like now's our chance to get his benefit and then kill him.
Yep. Exactly. Mhm. Okay, so day 4.
Did you guys get your doubloon stuff for him?
Yeah, we got our
You did?
doubloons.
Okay, I just
For
wanted
We
to
the
got
day
it during
effect.
the day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you were
Yep.
fast. I just want to make sure
Yep.
you got them.
We were all doing the exact same thing, so it was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not playing number 29 this week. It's not happening. Not when I have 2. Not happening. That's -6 for each one.
I really don't want to do but crap, because that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen, isn't it?
What do I? Huh.
Oh, that would be nice. That's gonna
I
end up
guess I'm gonna
happening,
do that now.
but probably gonna end up happening anyway.
I had a debate. Actually, I think this makes sense. I think.
I'm gonna do this one instead.
I don't like any of my options.
They're
Yeah,
awful, right?
no, they're not really good options, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have to do it this way.
I'm
I have to
Not
do it
gonna-
the way I want it to.
Did everybody play?
yeah.
That Granny Wada keeps coming back. Alright, who has the
Yeah,
lowest one?
I might as well
I
just
think
play.
Ian
I
does
think
with-
we're tied, so I get the
23,
lowest.
so you get the lowest.
Yep. Which is the only reason why I played that one and not the other one that I
I wonder
wanted to
what he
play.
does.
The armor.
Oh, okay.
So no day effects.
No days,
Nope.
no dusks.
Well, the dusk effect is take loot.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
People
dusk
have-
happens, there's just no effects.
Yeah.
Can I have my dude, please? He's way over there. Thank you.
I will take a barrel.
I will also take a barrel.
It's like your dude from D&D. Walking around with all that cursed ale. Well, not cursed ale, but reefer ale is what we're going to call it, I think.
Yep.
The stuff that Anavos wanted to drink.
And
I wanna
then
try that.
serve
Like-
to people.
Oh, what was that all about? Well, she was a pretty hot elf chick, so I don't.
Nope.
But yeah, that was.
I hit him.
None of us makes poor life choices.
I don't think that like when Ray did that though, he was thinking like he literally was just goofing off, and then was like, "Oh," and you were like, "No, you're not gonna give her that and knock her out." Like, what was like a normal person? He's like, "What do you mean?" Oh, I think he just wanted to see if it was actually what they said it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, true. And my night effect
I was
is
about
I
to
get two doubloons.
Yeah, there's some nuts that might happen.
Nights that might happen.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Yep. Yep, that guy's never getting. Nope. Oh. Oops. Or then maybe.
Your daughter.
About the governor.
I said I hate your daughter.
Why, you want to play her?
Yeah, but if she does, we'll end up having to pay the balloons.
Yep.
Well, not necessarily.
True. Well, she can't kill mine, so it doesn't matter. It was someone else would have to take you or Sarah have to take the saber to kill off my governor's daughter.
I don't want to take the saber because that guy only gave me 1 money for
Huh?
it.
I know, so I don't have to worry. I mean, you have the ever-growing grudge, so it doesn't matter.
Well, you know, it's
Yeah.
not like I'm going to hurt you.
No.
I mean, that's,
Not right now,
that would
no.
be a benefit, but there's another effect that I will not do. All right.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm
See,
sort of near the end.
this was the safest night to do this, so...
Yep.
No
You're
curses.
next, and I think I'm next after that, right? Because
Yep.
I'm the lowest.
Yep.
I'm
He's
middle.
28. You're 26, so yes. All right. So
What happened? Why is she gone?
She's not gone. She's back in my
She's
hand.
okay.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Take
alright.
it in your hand.
And I'll get a
And then-
doubloon, I think. Oh, I get 4. Sorry. I'll just give this to 5.
Good, 'cause we all right. So you get 5. You get 1 back from the party. All right, and then I get 3 doubloons.
Today was the safest day to play that and not have to worry about a curse.
So I will take 3 and put 2 back. All right.
Since I have no map, I'm not playing the Witcher.
Yes. But you do get a benefit because I'm going to do this.
No, I knew you were going to do that. That sucks.
That's why I did that. And feel free
My
to...
turn, so I will take my first mate.
I almost played my
Saber.
counter too, so I was like,
Who are you going to kill off?
Well, I think it's unfair to hit you twice, so let's go with. I'm gonna kill your first mate. Sorry.
Don't be
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm sitting here like,
Bonus effect for that, so yeah.
I will take the barrel. Thank you.
I don't know what to.
Gee, I wonder which one you'll pick.
maps.
Which one are you gonna take? I don't know.
And she's got 1 more than she needs.
The one with the X on it.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
these go away at the end of the first week.
After
right?
the
Yeah,
week, yeah.
once we calculate our money.
Yeah, they don't
That's what I thought.
don't stockpile and screw you. They will help
Yeah.
you or screw you
Once we
later.
finish the last day, what's going to happen is we're going to go through all the anchors, then we're going to calculate our totals, and then that all gets put in the back, back in the bag.
I love that I'm going to end this week with 4 cards in my hand.
What? Oh yeah, because
I
yep,
took one
Recruiter
back.
does.
yep, that can happen.
You are too, because you used the recruiter.
Me too.
Anyone who used recruiter is going to have that.
Yeah.
I know. I
I'm
had
seeing
to-
if you
I
got
had
any
to-
curses.
I
I
had
don't
to
think you
peek
do.
at mine.
I don't
But,
think
yeah.
I do either. I just want to make sure.
No, I think.
Well, there's other things
Yeah.
that he does have that you
Yeah.
can have a benefit from,
Yeah.
depending on what he plays. Which is why I wanted to keep him, but I'm like, I have to play him at this point.
Yeah. Sure.
Because I didn't want to be last on there, and I ended up being last anyway, even with 20, so it
Yeah.
didn't really matter. It's like I could have played my barkeep, and
Yeah.
it would have been fine. Which is what I was going to do. I'm like, I don't want to be last. Then I'm like, crap, I'm going to be last anyway.
Yeah.
So I just played the card I wanted to play.
Is that worth it? I might just be really tired. This might be a stupid move, but
Ah, shit.
Flip your
Oh, sorry. Thank God. Oh no, doesn't matter. I'm still getting a curse.
Mm-hmm. So 3 and 2. So yours is the lowest.
Wow. So essentially, the treasure is going to go to Sue. Then you'll get what's left, and the rest of us are getting curses.
Yep. I was trying to avoid that.
Yeah.
I'm at 28. You're at 22. All right.
It would have been
So
worse if I played my
should've-
captain because I would have lost 6 instead of 3.
I should have done what I originally
give me
planned.
2, and I'll give you a 5.
I originally planned to play my captain, but then I did the math and I'm like, I would have lost too much money. I'm still
No,
gonna lose
I
a
was
bunch.
originally going to play my recruiter.
I'm still losing 6, so it doesn't
and
matter.
pull my captain back into my hand. So
and
it
that's the
doesn't
only
really
game.
Sarah did
bother me.
that.
So.
Oh well.
Oh well, what are you
I'm
gonna do?
only going to have one, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
take mine.
I'm at 3. Ooh, close.
And then, yeah, you guys get.
Oops,
I'll get one.
Thank you.